Hello friends, welcome to Crusader Academy's online classes. This is Rupesh Jadhav. Today we are going to discuss how the question from India yearbook comes in the exams. Okay. For example, I have taken chapter number 8 on which I have already made a video on this lecture, that is chapter number 8, and it is communication and information technology, as you can see on your screen. This is our chapter. Okay, and I have made one question on this chapter this way, and I am trying to explain you how the question will come. For example, check out this question, that on one side there are government initiative under communication and information technology. You have to keep it in mind that this is related to communication and information technology, and this is very much helpful for the student who are preparing for civil services, that is UPSC, any state public service commission, for example MPSC, KPSC, TSPSC, or BPSC, whichever it may be. Okay, and it will be helpful for covering your current or topic also, current and India yearbook, that is our topic. So how to check out, how to get the question from this book? So I have already explained what are these e-praman, then what is e-hastakshar, what is e-sangam, e-IPO under the heading in communication and information technology. You can search my video. Okay, so it is there. So for example, now there is government initiative on one side and related to. So e-praman is related to what? Which of these? E-hastakshar is related to which of these? Sangam and e-IPO. And the options are like this. You have to choose any one of the multiple column. So let's start. E-praman, e-hastakshar, e-sangam. On other side, it is given acceptance of RTI fees from Indian citizens abroad. Which one is that? Is it e-sangam, e-hastakshar, e-praman, or e-IPO? Or e-authentication for public services, which is that? E-sangam, which is national service delivery gateway, which is non-repudiable authentication of applicant's identity, which is which. So students generally don't know about this, so let's discuss it. So e-praman, so first here is, it is given MEITY. This is very much important. This is another question, what is MEITY? Okay, so let me explain you what is MEITY. MEITY, we are discussing it under the heading e-praman. Okay, so it is nothing but Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, now if you are writing the long form, it will be, the first letter will be capital, but when you go for the short form, it is somewhat different. Check out that M for ministry, okay, it is capital, but E, electronics, then information, I again is small, technology, T is also small, but this Y, it has been made as capital. So it has, this is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Question comes on its long form, what does this mean? So here another question is there. So it has conceptualized and is implementing e-praman framework for e-authentication service. Now this is another issue. Okay, so it is e-authentication for public service. Okay, so here we get first clue. Then it is to its objective is to electronically deliver the government services to its intended recipients, whoever, common man, in a secure manner, as well as to build citizens trust in online environment. Okay, so that people, most people are not there on, still on the online transaction. For example, Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, still many people from the urban part are also not using it, because they always feel that it will be some kind of theft will be there and some risk are associated with it. So it is that about that. Okay, so moreover, it is a centralized, standard based, strong, multi-factored authentication system which provides the four factor for user authentication, sorry, how the user is identified or it is authenticated by means of password which can be sent by means of text or image, and OTP, one time password. You might be knowing about this OTP. Here another bits we get, that is what is the long form of OTP. So OTP is nothing but one time password, and it can be sent by SMS, email, mobile app, anyway. If you are using any app which in which transaction is done, you might generally know about this OTP. For example, the apps which is related to traveling or recharge or anything in that way. Then digital certificate, okay, this is another way. And biometrics, so biometrics is taken only of finger or fingerprint or iris. Now here another questions come. Okay, you should keep it in mind that biometrics is taken of only two things. One is fingerprint and second is iris, that is related to eye. Okay, I will make a separate video when I am going to start preparing the video of biology. You will realize. Okay, so this is what E-Praman. Now let's check out from this which is our answer. Okay, is there something matching there? So E-Praman, so we have seen, was there about this, that acceptance of RTI fees? Nothing was there. E-authentication for public services, yes, it was there. So one is match with this part. Okay, sorry, I'm new to this type of teaching, please excuse me for this. So E-Praman is e-authentication for public service. Now let's check where it matches. Here it is and here it is, but still now it is very clear that these two are not the answers. Now there are two options before us, either A or B. Now let's go to another point. E-Hastakshar. What is E-Hastakshar? So it is such online e-sign. It is somewhat online e-sign. Okay, and it is one of the initiative under Digital India program. There are many initiatives. It is one of them to provide non-repudiable. Now here is our word, non-repudiable authentication of applicant's identity through a facility called e-sign, and it was launched in 2015. Okay, then you don't have to put every time the signature. So let's check out whether it is E-Hastakshar. So again here it is, we find this, that it is going to match with this point, that E-Hastakshar is going to match with this one, non-repudiable authentication of applicant's identity. Now let's check out which is the matching one. So second is B is the fourth one. Now again we know these two are already cancelled. C was already cancelled and D was already cancelled, and here we get confirmation that second option's answer is 4. So again here we can see that this is also cancelled. A is our right answer. Okay, but let's check out what is E-Sangam. Coming back, E-Sangam, so it is nothing but a middleware infrastructure. Okay, it is an infrastructure being implemented by CDAC Mumbai. Where is the center of CDAC? It is at Mumbai, acting as a standard based routing and message switch. Okay, so all our messages and routings, it is switch here. Okay, so E-Sangam, which provides seamless interoperability for interoperability means inside the government only. Okay, or any office. So here as it is E-Sangam, so it is government related to, it will be among the interoperability among the government departments. Okay, so it will be related to government department. One department is related to second department, it may related to third department, it may related to fourth also. So in this way they are all interlinked, and here it may be central government. Okay, that way. And exchange of data across heterogeneous application of geographical dispersed departments. That is what these departments are dispersed. and also it includes the National Service Directory. So National Service Directory, main where it is directory, and here it is given infrastructure. Now let's check out which is our proper answer. Already we know that A is the proper one, but still it should be cross-checked. So our cross-checking says that E-Sangam is matching with this one, because again RTI word was not there somewhere. National Service Delivery, and it is the infrastructure, that is gateway. Okay, so it is that type of infrastructure. And lastly EIPO, it shows that whatever the remain is acceptance of RTI. So this is our correct answer, but let's check out what is EIPO. EIPO, initially this facility was launched in 2013. So it was launched in 2013 only for Indian citizens who lives in abroad across the globe to seek information from Central Public Information Officer, CPIO. Okay, under the RTI Act of 2005. So RTI Act, this is another question. Firstly, it was launched in 2013. For whom it is? It is for Indian citizens who are living in foreign countries, not for Indian. When it was launched, it was not for Indian. Okay, and RTI Act is of which year? It is of year 2005. What is RTI? Right to Information Act. Now EIPO facility was further extended to Indian citizens living in India. Now the Indians who are living in India in 2014, to facilitate them to pay RTI fee online. So this is what our answer again. Let's check out whether it is there. So yes, it is about acceptance of RTI fees and Indian citizens abroad. So friends, I tried to explain what is this. E-Praman is e-authentication for public service. Then e-Hastakshar, it is again what we say non-repudiable authentication of applicant's identity. E-Sangam is nothing but National Service Delivery Gateway, and EIPO is for RTI fees from Indian citizens and also people living in abroad. Both are now there. Okay, so in this way you can take out the points and bits from this topic. I hope you liked my video. So if you liked, please give like to my video. Okay, your like will motivate me. Put down the comments in the way you want how the video should be. Okay, your comments will motivate me to make more videos, and also share these videos to your friends who are preparing for the competitive exams, various competitive exams. It may be your relative, it may be your family member, it may be the person living in your neighbor, or it may be your friend. Okay, so motivate me by putting some comment, and please subscribe my channel Crusader D Guardian. That will definitely help me out, and thank you very much for watching my video.